So, as of right now, I'm going to click this sheet on my computer to look at it. As of right now, all I have left to do in school is one comment, and I also have a project due in 2 days. However, I don't think I'm going to do any more work for it. I've done a lot, and I'm basically tired of working on it. So I'm not the group leader, so I think I'm just going to let the group leader turn it in. Because like I said, I've already done a lot of work, and some of those people in the group were not pulling their weight. And at this point, I'm not the group leader. I'm tired of working on it. So other than the group project that's due in 2 days, I have one comment left to make in one class, and I'm done with school. When I say done with school, I mean like finished with college. Now, what I want to say about school is it has been a terrible experience in, I pretty much say every way. It's been a terrible experience. And it's stuff like this that makes me never want to have kids, because it's like I don't want to have a kid and have them be subjected to, because as soon as your kid turns, what, 5, you have to turn them over to the institution, school, the institution of school, and then they have to be in that till they're, what, 18, and then they have to go to college, and now people are getting master's degrees and all this crap, and it's like, it's not even natural. It's not natural to put people in these situations. Watch that documentary I posted fairly recently called. Well, it's on my website. It's just look on my website. It's fairly recent, so just go back a little bit. But if you watch that school documentary I posted, that was like an over an hour long documentary, and you can see a lot of the problems with the school systems today. And there's another documentary I've been trying to watch, but I haven't been able to get a hold of it yet, and it's called something. Let's call it something like Road to Nowhere, and that's another school documentary. I want to check that out. But basically, it's like I don't really even want to have kids ever, because it's like I don't want my kid to have to go through what I've been through. I don't like school, like I don't freaking like it. I haven't liked school since I was about, and I can't say that I've ever liked it, but I'm saying like it really took a turn for the worse when I hit 6th grade. When I hit 6th grade, it was just too much. It was like, because we had actually moved when I hit 6th grade, and so it was a new school, and then it was like the work. It seemed like, I don't know if the work changed or it was just the different school system. I don't know which it was, but I pretty much, ever since then, I've just had this deep disdain for school. It's like, and I remember specifically, uh, I was in band at the time, and I was really good at band, but they just I felt like they just kept piling on so much homework that I just was like, forget it. Like, I don't want to do band anymore, because I got to a point where I felt like I had no more free time. And it was like, I would rather not practice this instrument. Because anything, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you go home from school after being there for 6 or 7 or 8 hours, you don't feel like, you go home and then you have like 4 hours of homework, and then you have to practice your instrument. So I stopped doing my instrument just so I could just get a break. And it's sad. I think that that's so sad that they do this to kids. My sister's kids, they're young. They're like 4, 5, and 6 at the moment, and one is about to be 7 in a minute. But it's like that. Even them, they have all this homework, you know, and it's enough to make you want to get high, or like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, here's another thing. I have been pretty much addicted to coffee for years, right? Uh, just espressos from Starbucks, just because they help me to focus on my freaking schoolwork. It's so freaking boring. Like, I hate school. Like, it's so boring. So I developed this addiction to something just to get me through. And I've stopped drinking it. Like, at this point, let me see. I'm 9 days clean at this point. And I know people sometimes, they don't think that that's real. It's a real addiction. And not as in like, you know, maybe not as in like heroin or whatever. But like, it's not a joke. Like, if you drink, think like, if you drink 2 very strong espressos per day, you can see after a while how that would take a toll on you. Like, man, and it was, it was not good. And I don't even want to get into some of the details at the moment, but it was not healthy. And the only reason I feel like I've really been able to just stop, other than like prayer, is because I don't have to do this homework, because like I said, it's winding down. It's like when they assign you this homework, it's like everlasting gobstopper work. It's like they give you an assignment and it's going to take you like 6, 7 hours to do it. And it's the most boring thing you've ever seen in your life. It's like I literally got to a point where I just felt like I need to like get this caffeine high, both for my mood and for my brain, like just to, you know what I'm saying? It just became this like huge crutch for me, because it's just like, it's just boring. It's boring, and it's just wrong to make a person sit at a desk for 10 hours a day doing nonsense, subjecting them to your criticism constantly, constant criticism. It's like you can never do anything right. You follow all the directions. The other day, I did an assignment. I worked really hard on this. I redid it twice, turned it in, and got a 78. The teacher said I followed the directions incorrectly. But it's like, her directions were not clear. If you give me vague directions, you see what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. It's completely discouraging. It's just, and I basically overall, I just think school is like the worst thing ever. And a lot of people don't understand, and I think it's mostly females. Females don't get how males think a lot of times. They don't, I've noticed they just don't get it. They don't, almost don't care to get it. Like, men and women don't see things the same. I find so many times that instead of women treating me like a male, they try to look at me as if I think the way they think. I don't think like that. Like, and I'm not just trying to make this a male-female thing, but I'm just saying, like, women don't understand why I dislike school. It's like if I talk to one of my male friends, they get it. If I talk to a female friend, they're like, why are you complaining? Or, like, they don't get it. Like, for example, the other day, and this was like 2 days ago, I was talking to a female friend. I was like, what are you up to? She said, I'm reading Greek mythology in my spare time. Now, I had to read that crap for literature, and I absolutely despised it. And I think I could speak for quite a lot of men if I said we don't give a crap about that. We don't want to read. I read something. I forgot what it was. It was like the Iliad or something like that for a class. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. The first chapter, it introduced like 25 characters or more. Now, if you find that fun, I can't relate with you, man. I can't. And that's the thing, man. Like, a lot of people don't get why I think school is just the most horrible thing ever. But it's like mostly girls don't get it. Because I think that school is tailored more for girls. It's like, for example, like how men are more like leaders and we're more like, I guess you could say, egotistical or more egocentric and more like into our own opinions and stuff like that. Whereas women are more like followers and they listen and they're a little more like lax, like chill, like. And I think that when you're sitting in a classroom, to a guy, it's just like, this is boring. Like, I don't care what you're talking about. Plus, I'm like fidgeting in my seat, Whereas girls, they're more like, how do you say it? Like calm. They can sit and listen to you and like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like how, like how women, I'll go on a dating site and they'll say, I want a man to choose the first date, or like, like they don't mind being led a lot of times. Whereas men, we're just like, this sucks balls. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I want to go out and do something active myself. I don't want to sit here, listen to this old bald guy talking. It's like torture. And it's proven, like when I went to the exit exam, and I freaking went to the freaking exit exam, and I sat in the back and counted. There was 23 girls, and including myself, 4 guys. And you know what the exit exam is? The exit exam is the exam that you take when you're about to graduate. So what that told me was there's way more girls ready to graduate than guys. And College is just it's tailored more to a woman's temperament and like way of doing things. Even like all the multitasking and everything. I think it's exhausting to men to the point where they're like, I would literally rather sign up and be up in the military and go to Iraq with a gun strapped to my back. You know, guys are literally saying that and doing that. You know, like one of my friends, he joined the freaking army or whatever, and this was recent. He's a week older than me, so he joined at age 28. You know, because he's like, school is so boring, I can't even stand it. And that's my experience. It's like, yeah, I'm finishing, but it was complete and utter torture. And I find myself today, it's so weird because it's like I'm done, but it's like it's weird because I'm like after having my brain hijacked by all this stupid busy work for years and years and years. It's just like I'm like, now it's over. Like you you mean I can like look at the sky for once? Like it's just ridiculous. Like I almost I almost don't even know how to react. Like I wake up and I'm like, well, I don't have 5 hours of homework ahead of me today, you know? It's I'm telling you, it's not even like, you know, you would think I'm jumping for joy. And don't get me wrong, I am, but it's like after having your brain hijacked for so long and then just having it be like, well, no more homework, no more busy work, no more of this nonsense. You're just kind of like, okay, after all this being subjected to all of these people giving me all their stupid opinions and facts and dates and uh, nonsense assignments and rhetoric, I'm done, and now I'm expected to think independently, just like that. And it's like, I'm not saying that I can't do it or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you've been in my shoes, you probably understand that it's just like you start to reflect and you're just like this is crazy. I saw this documentary the other day, okay, and it was about Charles Manson. Charles Manson was basically like a cult leader who got people to do evil things for him, kill people, and all this crap. Now, what was crazy was when I was watching the documentary, they talked about how cult leaders do this crap, and they said what they do is what they do is they're not they said they're not crazy and their followers are not crazy. What they do is they take your general beliefs that you've gotten from your parents or from church or you know your general beliefs that you've grown up with, your typical beliefs. They take them and they find somewhat of a loophole, or they say something that's subtly subversive, something that will make you question many of your beliefs, just in general. Once you question a lot of your belief systems that you've grown up with, it's basically like your brain is at a point of it being a blank slate. Once your brain is at that point, then they impart whatever it is they want to impart into your mind. And it occurred to me that that is the exact same thing they do to you at college. And it's like you have to be a strong minded person to go into college, say a Christian, and come out a Christian. You see what I'm saying? And it's disgusting to me how much college mirrors the exact same things they said about cult leaders. It's absolutely disgusting to me. Like I sat here watching it on TV and I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, and people pay for this, you know? And I think also all of the overload of work, that also has an effect on your brain. There's something about that that I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I'm going insane. And then they're putting while you're at this point of like near overload at exam time or midterm time or whatever, trying to juggle all this work and plus juggle your job, plus juggle your family and friends. While you're dealing with that like trauma, while they're putting all this information in your head, I think it all has an effect, and that's why I think people. It's like you have to be super strong minded to come out the same way you went in, man. It's like you just, I don't know, man. And and like I said, even myself, I feel like I've compromised a lot. Like I've compromised a lot. I've gotten, I've taken on certain mind states that I don't want to take on, like survival, or survival of the fittest. Like okay. For example, survival. Must drink this coffee to do this assignment. Doesn't matter the coffee is unhealthy for me. Must do this assignment. Must drink gallons and gallons of caffeinated beverages filled with sugar and chocolate, and do not pay attention to heart palpitations. Do work. Do be a zombie. You know what I'm saying? Or how about this? Someone calls me, right? And they say, James, can you do such and such for me? No. Survival of the fittest. Got to do my assignment. Must do assignment. Must do assignment. James, do you want to hang out at, oh, I have an exam. I am a robot. You know what I'm saying? Everything taking a back seat to stuff that's nonsense. Nonsense. One of my teachers was such a complete idiot. Like so many of my teachers, complete atheist rhetoric idiots, talking about how incest isn't wrong and it's just social norms. Well, being gay is just as legitimate as being straight. Like, just complete buffoons. Just absolute buffoonery. Like, saying the dumbest things, trying to make people. And I've noticed it works on so many people. It didn't work on me. I think to an extent, a lot of the negative things that come along with college did work on me. But I still believe in God. I still, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that college is it's just terrible. It's terrible what it does to people. And in a lot of ways, I don't know, man. I just, I think it's awful. And I almost feel like my brain is like deprogramming itself, or like I'm highly reflecting or something at this point. And I just, I wouldn't recommend a person go to college. I wouldn't. I didn't like it at all. And people always I always run into people and they're like, I like college. I think that is the dumbest statement I've ever heard. I hate that. I hate when people say they like college. What is there to like? You know? What? All that stuff was based on pride, prejudice, and pretension. You know? It's really, yeah, like, I mean, what's the difference between saying you can't do this job because you're black? What's the difference between saying that and saying you can't do this job because you don't have a degree? You see what I'm saying? How is that not, like, wrong? You know? I mean, if you have two people who've never done a job and you just hire the one who has a degree, I don't necessarily think that the one who has the degree would necessarily be the best one for the job. You see what I'm saying? It's just another way to uh I don't know what you would call it, another way to like discriminate. You see what I'm saying? So because of that, you have all these people going into debt trying to get into college so they can get a decent job, you know? Because nobody wants to just hire you without a degree. But a degree doesn't mean you're a good person. A degree doesn't mean you won't steal from the company. A degree doesn't mean you're not some kind of crazy pervert, or it doesn't mean you have integrity. It doesn't mean you're a hard worker. You know what I'm saying? All it means is, you know, you went to school. And so I don't buy into all the hype. I am thankful that it gave me, I guess, something to do, because otherwise, I don't know what I would be doing right now had I not gone to school. But, and hopefully, I will be able to get some kind of nice job or something. But honestly, school is just, it's a terrible experience. And just from beginning to end, it's a horrible experience. So that's all I wanted to say, and you guys take it easy.